Hello, Catamounts. I'm Ariel Rymer reporting live for TV62 at the Old Student Union for the SGA State of the University Address. In a few minutes, we will be hearing from our student body, TJ Eaves, for his speech that will be highlighting key points that have been happening here at WCU's campus. But before then, we will be hearing from our Vice President, Alicia Page, from our Senator for Service Learning, Ryan Hermits, and from our Director of PR and Marketing, Lauren Gray. Now, first off is Alicia Page. Hi, Alicia, how are you?
I'm doing well. How are you doing?
I'm doing well. Now, in TJ Eaves' speech, we will be hearing about tuition increase and budget cuts. How can students advocate for themselves and effectively respond to budget cuts, besides robbing banks?
They could always rob a convenience store. Kidding, of course, don't rob anyone or anything ever, because that's bad. At Western Carolina University, we've created an initiative called Cuts Hurt. And basically this gives the students the opportunity, a creative outlet, if you will, to tell their representatives exactly how these budget cuts are impacting them on a day-to-day basis. And basically, we have students come into the office, we have a few flip cameras, and we record them telling their representatives how the budget cuts are reflecting in their education. For instance, we've had some students come in and say, my classroom size is unmanageable, my professor doesn't know my name, I'm losing the value of my education while the price is increasing, and honestly, I can't afford it anymore, so we as a state need to do something about this.
Now, can students write letters instead of making videos?
Certainly. We've had a few students who weren't comfortable making videos for this project, and we've welcomed them to write letters to their representatives. The only thing that we ask is that if students are going to write to their representatives or make videos is that they send them to the SGA office so that we can compile them and send a unified message to the General Assembly.
Awesome. What will be the outcome if they write these letters and making videos?
We hoped whenever we created the initiative that basically whenever representatives started to see the personal story, that they weren't just shifting percentages or numbers, that they were impacting real students, that the representatives would perhaps reconsider some of their decisions whenever it came to funding the public education system. We really just want to advocate for our students and ensure that they get the best quality education for the best price, which is what our Constitution promises them.
That sounds like a great program. Now, I understand you're a junior. Is that correct?
I am a junior.
And is presidency in your future?
Well, I'm going to cross my fingers, but there's an election in between, so I can't say positively yes, but let's hope.
Okay, and if you're going to be president, what do you think you could bring to WCU that we haven't seen yet?
One thing that I would like to see at WCU is entertainment. Not that we haven't seen it, but we've seen it in smaller quantities. I know that our student government functions as a reflection of the student body's needs and desires, and I think that we've really effectively delivered those things this year. One thing that I want is a reconstruction for SGA. I want to see our judicial branch functioning as a check for the Senate as opposed to just a traffic court. I want to see our Senate expanding so that it can effectively reach 10,000 of our students. And I want to see student government put on some programs that aren't just informative but are also fun so that students don't feel like they need to go to Asheville or back home every weekend to have a good time.
Now, in your platform for becoming president, will SGA attending more events be in that plan?
I don't know if you've noticed or not, but SGA has been significantly more present this year than we have been in the past, and that's going to continue. We want to show the other clubs and organizations that we recognize that we support them in their endeavors. We also want to show the athletics departments that we are in full faith of them. We know that they're working their best to improve, and we're really proud of the things that they're doing to show some school pride.
Awesome. Well, thank you so much for coming, Alicia, and we hope to hear from you soon for becoming president. Thank you. Now on to Ryan Hermans, our Senator for Service Learning. Hi, Ryan. How are you?
Hey.
For Service Learning Senator, what are you currently working on?
Right now, I have teamed up with the academic senator, Ricky Green, to begin a new student organization called the SGA Service Corps.
And what is the purpose of this corps?
The main goal of the Service Corps is to connect students with volunteer opportunities within the local community, as well as offer opportunities for students to work with their friends to help others.
How will this corps operate?
The Corps operates, it starts with the committee where the service committee is in charge of operating and making final decisions and finding new projects for the students to do, and it offers weekly opportunities for students to come out and volunteer and work with friends to help others.
Can students get involved with these type of projects?
Oh yeah, there's no commitment required. Any student who wants to come out just for a week or 2 weeks can come out, and we'll break every student down into teams of 4 or 5 so that we can get more projects done at one time.
That sounds great. Thank you so much for coming here tonight, and enjoy TJ's speech. Thank you. Now we are going to Lauren Gray, who is the Director of PR and Marketing. How are you doing, Lauren?
Doing pretty good.
Awesome. So there have been forums that people have been going to. Can you explain what these forums are and of any that are coming up?
Yeah, last semester we had a forum for dining services where we had actual Airmark and dining services people come to our forums and get some questions answered. Our most popular forum last semester was an open forum that we held where TJ answered a lot of questions that we had, from everything from parking to dining services to all these issues on campus. So that was a really good one too. And our upcoming ones that we're going to have are a diversity forum for more diversity awareness. We'll have another parking forum. We're having a dining forum again at the end of this month to talk about more dining options, healthier options, things for next year, and we'll also be planning another SGA open forum.
That sounds awesome. Now I've heard some talk about We Listen. Can you elaborate on what that is and what it does?
We started We Listen a couple of weeks ago as an open forum for students to address their concerns and issues that they were having across campus and really in our WCU community, because even people from Silva, alumni, and everything like that, they have a lot of questions they want answered, and we really wanted a place for students to, feel free to address their concerns in a place where administrators, like people in e-marketing and people in dining, to really look at what students are saying and really address the concerns. And we've had a ton of feedback, and we've set up meetings as a result. We have an SGA concerns box in the UC, so we're really doing a lot to really make sure that students' voices are being heard.
That's really awesome. Thank you so much for meeting with me, Lauren, and enjoy TJ's speech.
Yeah,
Thank you. A few more minutes until TJ goes live with his State of the University address, but stay tuned. After this is Columbiana's preview for the movie.
Hey, buddy. I got the good stuff. Put your hands on the car! Put your hands on the car! You think this is funny?
No, sir! No, sir!
Got the layup. Got the layup. Never forget. Never forget where you came from. Get ready. You want me to teach you how to be a killer? But then just remember where you came from. Who are you?
Not from service.
There's 22 murders in the last 4 years.
I'm doing this my way.
Why?
You know why.
She's going after us. She's just a girl. Take care of it.
I don't know if something or someone hurt you before.
Find her! Look everywhere!
Talk to me.
What do you want to know?
Anything. Something about you.
I was 9 when my parents were killed.
Never forget where you came from.
I will not stop until you feel what I felt all these years. And now I'm gonna finish it.
Never forget where you came from.
Welcome back, Catamounts. It looks like TJ has just walked in to deliver his speech. Stay tuned afterwards for interviews.
Good evening, Catamounts. I hope this semester is kicking off well for each of you and you're enjoying this not-so-winter weather. I am pleased to come before you tonight to deliver the State of the University address for the first time ever live on TV 62. As I stand before you today, there are many people who work very hard to make this production possible. I'd like to start by thanking all of the students that work for TV 62 and the Student Government Association staff. In this address, I will speak of the great success SGA had in representing the student body in the tuition and fee process and the current events that are happening on campus. But I urge you to understand, what we do within SGA would be impossible without the involvement of students. Whether you're directly involved with SGA by holding a position or indirectly involved with SGA by voicing your concerns to one of us, everyone is playing a vital role in this process. We have seen a great increase in involvement in this past year with student clubs and organizations skyrocketing and more involvement from the student body in general. I'd like to start by speaking about what is on the forefront of many of our minds is the tuition and fees process, as that directly impacts the money in our wallets and our parents' wallets. I spent most of my time thus far as student body president being educated on the tuition and fee process and then playing an active role in the tuition and fee process here on our campus. This is a very complex issue, and I'm going to try to make it as simple as I can tonight to make this easy. A tuition and fee committee was assembled last fall, co-chaired by Vice Chancellor Dr. Miller and myself, and we met regularly throughout the fall semester. This committee was initially proposed this increase of 17% in tuition. In my opinion, this fee was substantially high, but unfortunately warranted. In the last 4 years, our university has seen over $30 million in budget cuts from the state level. This is completely out of the university's hands and is dealt to us from the state. With sources of revenue coming from only two places at WCU, state funding and tuition and fees, Western's only option to attempt to offset these cuts was with a tuition and fee increase. I assure you that if the administration had a choice, there would be no tuition and fee increase. But to protect the quality of education that is provided at WCU, it is imperative that the university take action to offset the cuts it has seen. With that being said, I still believe that a 17% increase in tuition for next year was too much of a burden to pass on to the students. And that idea was affirmed in the SGA forums we had last semester and by you coming up and talking to me myself. So I went back to the drawing board. With the help of Vice Chancellor Robert Edwards, I proposed a new plan that would call for a 13% increase in tuition next year as opposed to the original 17%. The plan was approved by our committee and then adopted by Chancellor Belcher and his executive staff. The final step the university plays in the tuition and fee setting process is at the Board of Trustees level. As your student body president, I serve as a student representative to the board and also as a voting member to the board. A healthy debate ensued in this December board meeting. There were numbers tossed around as high as a 20% tuition increase. I fought hard for our 13% proposal, and it was passed. The latest development comes from the state level, where the president of the UNC school system, Tom Ross, will be recommending our proposal to the Board of Governors. I've been asked to speak at the Board of Governors meeting next week to express the students' concerns on the rising tuition and protecting the quality of education that we receive at all of our institutions. Without the engagement of students to have their voice heard in the process, there is no way the new proposal of 13% would have been passed. I commend each student who came to a forum, expressed their concern to an SGA member, and the near 400 students who attended the Cuts Heard event. You were a vital role in this whole process. You may have noticed a new face around campus this year, as we have welcomed the new chancellor to our Catamount family, Dr. David Belcher. A new chapter in Western Carolina's history is being written as we walk this campus. Dr. Belcher's energetic personality and openness to students is truly a unique trait among chancellors. Through my position, I have interacted with many chancellors in the UNC system, and I can say with 100% assurity that Dr. Belcher is the best chancellor in the UNC school system. I encourage you, if you have not had a chance to meet him yet, Please take a moment to introduce yourself and welcome him to the Catamount family the next time you see him. And if you're looking for a time to meet the Chancellor, there will be no better time than at his installation, which will take place the last week in March. This will only be the 16th time in our university's existence that we will install a new Chancellor. The week promises to provide a memorable experience for each student who attends any event. The events are still being finalized, but you can expect great things from the installation committee that has been working hard all year. Some of the events in the works include the firing of the catafount, where a new tradition will begin as we turn on the catafount, the fountain in the middle of campus, for the first time in 2012. And I promise there will be a surprise event at this. There will also be lawn gating, which is opposed to tailgating. It'll take place on the UC lawn just before the baseball game. We'll have food, we'll have drinks, and there'll be plenty of events for students. There will also be a night where students will flock to downtown Silva and also downtown Dillsboro for a night that will be called Wee Hours. Businesses will allow students to decorate their storefronts and will also provide discounts to students this night. This is just the beginning of the long list of events scheduled for the week that will lead up to the main event, the installation ceremony for Dr. David Belcher. I encourage each student who can attend this ceremony. This is where we will officially welcome Dr. Belcher as Western Carolina's 16th Chancellor, and it is important that we show him our student support. The last thing I'd like to talk to you about tonight is the upcoming SGA elections. For those of you interested in getting involved on campus or holding a leadership position within SGA, this is your opportunity to do so. Once a year, we accept applications within SGA for the executive branch and the student senate. Following the application period, you will have time to campaign for your desired position before the actual elections take place. Getting involved with SGA is not something that is cut out for everyone. But for those of you that decide to run for a position, I can assure you that you will have a chance to make a difference in this university. The importance of who holds what positions in SGA should weigh heavily on each student's heart, as they will be the ones who represent the entire student body to upper administration and external sources. As I talk about the upcoming elections, it also brings to light the fact that my term is coming to an end. I have enjoyed every minute of my term thus far, and I hope that each of you are proud of the accomplishments SGA has seen under my leadership. But I assure you that my job is not done yet. I will continue to advocate for student concerns to the administration and on the state level. I will also dedicate this semester to spending more time and effort in supporting students and student activities. I will continually advocate for better student services such as parking, dining options, housing situations, and anything else that is brought to my attention. This is why it is extremely important for you to bring your concerns to my attention or someone on the SGA staff's attention. I attend meetings on a daily basis in which I am asked to represent the student body. Without your input, this is an impossible task. I will work hard to make your student experience the best it can possibly be. In fact, SGA has partnered with athletics to sponsor a whiteout game this Thursday as the men's basketball team will take on Chattanooga at 7 p.m. We will be giving out 500 white t-shirts, so come out early and let's pack out the Ramsey Center. There will also be an opportunity for you to interact with the coaches and players of the men's and women's basketball teams this Wednesday and Thursday and upstairs in the dining hall from 11 a.m. to 1 p.m. This is just the beginning of many exciting events that we have planned for this semester. In closing, I want each of you to remember how great this institution that we call home is. Western Carolina University is our slice of paradise, with an increasingly involved student body, energetic chancellor, beautiful scenery, and the small town atmosphere we call the Western Way. We should all remember that every day is a great day to be a Catamount. Thank you and good night.
There you are, Catamounts, addressing our issues with tuition increases and budget cuts and talking about exciting events that are coming up was our student body, TJ Eaves. Now, to go on to talk about what TJ Eaves talked about and the highlights that he addressed is Colin Wiseman, Chief Justice. How are you doing tonight, Colin?
Doing well. How are you?
I'm doing great. Now, could you tell me what parts of TJ's speech that you liked the best, what highlights he hit that you really liked?
Well, I really like what he's talking about SGA involvement with the Western community. There's really never been a more active student government association than we've had this year, and even the fact that we're doing this year for the first time ever, it's really awesome.
Now, is there anything that you want to see improved with SGA?
Parking.
Parking, can you elaborate?
That's actually my job. Is I deal a lot with parking services, and I'm who you appeal tickets to and that sort of thing. And I just see it in and out that every single day that there are a lot of parking issues on this campus that really aren't being addressed. But there are things, potential lots that we are looking at being built in the next year, and we're hoping to see some of those get built to address some of these issues.
Well, that's awesome. Well, thank you so much for meeting with me, Colin, and I wish you the very best. Thank you. Now is to Benjamin Collette. Hi, Ben. How are you doing? Doing good. What do you do for SGA?
I'm the finance director, so I pretty much go over the budget and approve or deny club's funding requests.
What did you think about TJ's speech?
I thought it was really good, and I really liked that he was trying to get people to get interested in SGA and possibly run in the elections this spring.
And is there anything that you want to see improve with SGA?
I think we're doing pretty good so far. I just think we should be more out there, which we have a lot of stuff planned for this spring, so we'll be pretty good.
Are you graduating in May?
I am.
Oh, okay. Well, that's awesome. Thank you so much for meeting with me, Ben. On to is Rakim. Hi, Rakim. How are you?
All right. How are you doing?
And what do you do for SGA?
I'm actually Director of Diversity.
That's awesome. Now, what did you think about TJ's speech?
Well, I thought TJ gave a pretty good speech. I agree with him 100% as far as the chancellor being here. Chancellor's actually a pretty great guy. He's very involved, a lot more involved with the students than our last chancellor.
That's awesome. Now, what do you want to see improve with SGA?
Well, honestly, just looking from a diversity standpoint, I'm still not 100% satisfied with the tuition increase, even though it is a lower number than what was projected. Because if we're trying to raise our demographics that we have here as far as inclusive to minority students, we have to realize that these students are coming from a low-income home, and that raising the tuition is not going to increase the amount of diversity that we bring to this campus, and it's going to ruin the inclusion plan that we're trying to put into place.
Now, for diversity, do you have any kind of events that are planned for this semester?
We're working on it. Our calendar is going to be out this week.
Okay. Well, thank you so much for meeting with me, and I wish you the very best. Okay. Now on to Adam Gray. Sorry. Huh? Caleb? Oh, I'm so sorry. Hi, Caleb. What do you do for SGA?
I'm actually the staff writer for the Western Carolinian that covers what SGA is doing. So check out all of the Western Carolinian issues to figure out what SGA is up to and what they're planning on doing.
Are you going to be talking about TJ's speech in the Carolinian?
This issue will not be, but there will be further coverage in the issue 2 weeks from now.
Now, what did you think about TJ's speech?
I thought that it was very important that he prioritized the tuition and fees going up, and I think it's a big thing that's on all of our minds and something that's worrying us. But I appreciated the fact that he went through the process and helped explain like what's going on, why certain things are the way they are, because the more educated students are about the tuition and fees, the less it can worry them.
I agree. Is there anything that you want to see improved with SGA, especially when you work with the Carolinian?
Right now, I hope that SGA continues down this road to help build student involvement. I'm a junior here at Western, and I've really seen an exponential increase in student involvement on campus, and I hope that we can continue this ball rolling.
Awesome. Well, thank you so much, Caleb. All righty. Well, there you have it, TJ's address, and you've heard from your very own student government. Thank you so much for tuning in live here at the Student Union. Be sure to come to the opening premiere of WCU's TV 62 premiere next Wednesday, February 8th at 7:30 p.m. in the UC Theater. There will be 62 News, the broadcast, and there will be Nothing But Young, a brand new series written by a very own student, Kaya Rice. Come out, free food, and awesome prizes. Thank you so much. I'm Ariel Rymer reporting.